Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today is another episode of me reading my mission journal, and I believe this is the 8th episode of me reading my mission journal. I don't have any announcements this time, so I'll just go ahead and get started. Sunday, March 16th, 2003. Mostly cloudy, rain on and off all day. Hot. We went to PEC and showed the new spot commercials. Showed the new TV spot commercials. Okay, so they had some. We had some videos of some commercials that the church had put out advertising the church, and we showed those. Later, we also showed it in Priesthood and Relief Society. We went to the Single Sacrament. Elder K blessed the bread, and I blessed the water, and Elder B and Elder C passed. After the administration of the sacrament, Lisa and Walter were confirmed. Elder K and I stayed for the whole singles block. Lisa, I guess it's not Lisa, Loia and Walter were ordained. Oh yeah, it was not Lisa, it's Loia. Loia and Walter were ordained priests in the elders' quorum. After singles, I had a picture taken of me with the A family. We missed sacrament in the Waianae ward, but we went to the other two meetings. I was supposed to teach elders' quorum, but they spent so much time talking about the upcoming activity that there was no time for a lesson. We went to the Makaha elders' baptism and filled the font for them. We went to the A family to take pictures and had dinner with the C family and took pictures and talked. After the C family, we went to the pad for personal study and to call in numbers and to get transfer calls on time. Elder B got a call tonight telling him that he would be training, which means Elder C will leave. Elder K will stay and I will leave. Monday, March 17th, 2003. Cloudy, hot, rain. We went to Brother E to use his computer and to take pictures. We went to district meeting. I had pictures taken at district meeting. After district meeting, we went to the pad to have lunch. After lunch, we took the car to have it inspected. While we were waiting for the car, we went tracting and taught a first discussion. I received a letter from Joan, and she enclosed a story about a serviceman who had served a mission in Germany and then fought them in World War II. We taught Stryker and Tina the third discussion and did a Book of Mormon to read with them. We were a little late to dinner with the K family. We took pictures with them. We came back to the pad for transfer calls. In our pad, Elder C and I are going, and I am going to a bike area. Tuesday, March 18th, 2003. Clear and hot. I packed this morning. Felix came and picked us up, and we all went for breakfast. After breakfast, we went to play dunk ball with the zone at a member's house, and then we had barbecue for Elder A because he flies home on Thursday. Elder Murphy rebuked me for sitting around. Well, a 17-year-old pretty female member talked to me. He said, if a girl comes up, we are to walk away. After the barbecue and the game, Felix took us home. After P-Day was over, Elder K and I went to pick up Brother L. I gave him my TR tie as a thanks for always going with us when we asked him. I'm not sure what the TR stands for, though. He said that I made his night. We went to pick up Brother R, and then Elder R dropped Brother Lewis and I off at the S family's house for dinner, and he went with Brother R to teach Rodriguez. Brother S fed us Samoan food. This is the first Samoan food that I've had, and I liked it. Wednesday, March 19th, 2003. Mostly clear and hot. We got up early and loaded Elder C and my bags and left for the tabernacle. I saw most of my MTC district. I told Elder C and Elder B and Elder K goodbye. I found out that Elder W would be one of my zone leaders. I am now in a bike area, Nu'uanu, with Elder G and Elder F. Elder W and the other zone leader told us that they would take us to buy bikes and to our pad. I talked to President Willis a little on the parking lot and asked about writing the temple president to ask about a story I heard about the temple, and he told me that he already asked him and it could not be proved, so don't use it. He also told me that Elder G is a hard worker and that it was his assignment to work me into the ground. The zone leaders took us to the bike shop. I bought a new bike and one of the elders bought one at the other. Elder W wanted us to buy a tandem. After we bought our bikes, we went back to the pad and we cleaned it up. We walked to the bishop's house and had dinner. He gave us a ride to PEC. After PEC, we all split up to go home teaching, and I went with the elders quorum president. We tried to teach some people but could not find anyone home. Chinatown is kind of scary after dark. The brother that I was with told me, let's not try to get beat up tonight. I told him that I thought that was a great idea. Thursday, March 20th, 2003. Mostly clear, hot, light rain early this morning. Just before devotional, President Willis called and told Elder F that he was going to do an emergency transfer for him to Eva Beach and Second Ward because an elder had to go home. He told Elder G that we would have to learn as much about the area as we can today because Elder F is leaving at 6:30 p.m., so we are basically whitewashing. Okay, so whitewashing. When you whitewash an area, that's what we call it when both missionaries are getting transferred out. Usually there's one missionary that knows the area will stay and one new missionary will come. But if both missionaries that are familiar with the area get transferred out and two new missionaries come into the area, that's what we call whitewashing. Elder S came and picked us up and drove us around our area. We went to the Polly Lookout, and the wind was so strong that we could lean forward and not fall on our face. We went to lunch at Taco Bell with the other elders, and I bought Elder G lunch. I received a letter from Mom and from Sister H. The APs came and got Elder F at 6:30 p.m. and brought Elder G's bike. Chad, the ward mission leader, came and picked us up and took us to Correlation. He took us through drive-thru at McDonald's. Chad picked us up just before 7 p.m. and took us to the B family. Sister Y was there. We all ate dinner, Chinese food, and then Sister B had us to stand on her scale to see how much we weighed and how much body fat we have. I weighed 143 pounds and had 11% body fat. After dinner, we taught Danny, and after each principal, Sister B would translate for him. We had cheesecake, and then they took us home. We were about 10 minutes late. We called President to ask if we could go to the temple tomorrow, and he called back and said yes. I put Elder G's bike together for him. I think that I'm going to like this area better than my last, and I already like my companion better than my last. Some of the things that I like about him are that he prays so much it is like the MTC. He cares about my opinion. He is neat and clean. He is on time. And all in all, I think that he will be a great companion. Friday, March 21st, 2003, clear and hot. We stayed at the pad a little extra to finish cleaning it up. I received a letter from the B family. We first went to try to talk to some old investigators. Then we spot tracked it and taught the discussion to an old man who most likely did not understand a word we said. We tried to follow up a little more, and then we biked out to the Old Polly Highway and went to track the area and taught a discussion. On the way up, I felt as if I would die because I am so out of shape. The first house that we knocked on, we asked for a drink of water. We got back to the pad around 4:30 p.m. and cleaned up to go to the temple. Sister Y and the WML gave us rides. I'm not sure what the WML is. Oh, Ward Mission Leader. And the Ward Mission Leader gave us a ride. We went through the 7:30 p.m. session. I saw Bishop P and his wife from the Waianae Ward at the temple. We TI'd about 40 people today. This has been one of the best and also one of the funnest days of my mission. I really love serving the New Uwanu, and I love serving with Elder G. Saturday, March 22nd, 2003. Mostly clear and hot. We had zone track this morning. I went with the Samoan elders that he has only been out a week. We tracked a pretty rich neighborhood. Most of the people that were home were not very nice. Their 3 Jehovah's Witness girls were tracking just behind us. After zone tracked, Elder G and I had lunch at Zippy's. We went to Hanini place to talk to the L family, a part member family. Only the grandmother and one 12-year-old boy were home. They invited us in and gave us water. After that, we decided to track that street. We met some of the nicest non-members that I have ever met. Their last name is K. When we met them, they told us that they were very Catholic. They invited us in and gave us fruit juice, and on the condition that we would not preach to them. We sat in their house and talked to them for a long time, and they told us that they admire us for what we are doing, and they have a lot of respect for us. Before we left, we gave them a pass-along card for the Lamb of God with our phone number and told them to call us if they ever need any service. We went back to the pad, and Brother S picked us up and took us to ward correlation. After ward correlation, Elder G and I tried to catch some part-member families. We had about 30 minutes left, so we talked to people at the bus stop. One man said, "My God does not have blonde hair and blue eyes." When we asked him what God he serves, he said that it was none of our effing business. The very next person we talked to, Psalm something, accepted a Book of Mormon, and we taught him the first discussion. He gave us his address and phone number so we could have the elders where he lives teach him. Today we traveled 12.7 miles on bike. Our max speed was 29.9 miles per hour, and our average was 8.7 miles per hour. Time spent in actual riding was 1 hour, 31 minutes, and 59 seconds. Sunday, March 23rd, 2003. Mostly clear and hot. Brother S picked us up for church. The bishop had us to sit on the stand. Elder G gave the invocation, and I gave the benediction. I noticed the invocation, that is the opening prayer, and the benediction is the closing prayer. I noticed that a lot of things are different here from Waianae. Kids do not run loose around the chapel. None of the men were wearing slippers or aloha shirts. They have us sit on the stand, and most importantly, the elders actually home teach. After the block, Elder G and Brother S taught Sophie her remaining lessons, and I went with Brother C, a return mission president, to teach Brady a media referral and to deliver a Bible to him. When we first pulled in, we thought that we had the wrong address because the building looked empty, but when we walked around back, we found that on the back side of the building was a junkie apartment. It was a halfway house. Brady told us that he had just served 7 years in prison. I taught him the first discussion, but he was not interested in hearing any more or reading the Book of Mormon. We went to visit some members at the bishop's mom's house, and I stepped off the curb wrong and sprained or twisted my ankle. Elder G kept telling me that I looked like I was in pain because I had a pretty bad limp. I told him that I was all right, although my ankle was killing me because I did not want to be a hindrance to the work. We went to Barbara, a new convert, with her home teachers. She said that someone had offered her and she said someone had offended her and she did not want to come to church because of them. We talked to her for a long time. Her home teachers did a very good job with her, and they talked her into talking to the bishop and possibly going to the institute. Elder G and I visited some of the inactive members in the ward. We came home at 7 p.m. to plan, study, and eat. I wrote my president's letter. Today we rode 5.24 miles. We rode, and our average speed was 8.4 miles per hour. Total miles 17.9. Monday, March 24th, 2003. Clear and hot. Brother S took us shopping after devotional. After we went shopping, we came back to the pad and did our laundry. We did not go play ball with the zone. We did not want to play, but even if we did, I would not be able to because I am still walking with a limp from yesterday when I stepped off the curb and twisted my ankle. When we were at the store, I dropped off my film. After P-Day, we ate at McDonald's. Just as I was about to pray, a man behind me said, just as I was about to pay, a man behind me said, "I'll get that, elders." He paid for our food and told us that he has a son on a mission. We have never met this man before. He lives on another part of the island, but works here. We next went to teach the K family's 7-year-old daughter the second discussion. She will be 8 in April. The discussion went well, and she seemed to have a pretty good understanding of what we were talking about. When we were through, the home teacher that sat through the discussion gave us a ride and tried to help us find the H family. We could not find it, and he dropped us off. We looked for a while and then gave up on it and started street contacting. We met a man who first praised our church, then condemned it, and then praised it again. I was not sure if he likes our church or not. He said that the Book of Mormon is true, but our prophets are not, so go figure. Today I wrote a letter to President Willis and to a bunch of other people. Today we rode 4.89 miles, average 8.5 miles per hour, with 34 minutes and 42 seconds spent riding. Total of 22.8 miles. Tuesday, March 25th, 2003. Clear and hot. We went to the park to plan for today. We tried to follow up with some investigators, but they were not home. We had lunch at McDonald's and then went tracting. We only taught one discussion, but we had a great time and talked to a lot of neat people. One lady, Hazel, gave us yogurt and ice water, and we talked to her for a long time. She said that she was not ready for religion. We asked her if we could do any service for her, and she said that she would only let us if she could pay us. We finally talked her into letting us work in the yard in exchange for lunch, for a total of about 5 hours. We went to ward correlation. Someone mailed the bishop a letter. The envelope was addressed to pastor of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The letter was from another church. Before ward correlation, Brother S brought us some sandwiches, and we ate at the chapel. We tried to visit some part member families, and they set up an appointment with Lacey for tomorrow. We visited the C family. We went home, and there was a message from Elder B telling us that district meeting had changed to tomorrow at 10 a.m. We rode 14.6 miles for a total of 37.4 miles. Our average speed was 7.9 miles per hour, and we spent 1 hour, 49 minutes, and 42 seconds riding. The only mail I received was a letter from Andrea that was returned to me because their address had changed. Wednesday, March 26, 2003. Clear and hot. We had district meeting at 10 this morning. After the meeting, Elder G and I rode with Elder M. We had lunch at Taco Bell and then went to the mission office for interviews. I was glad, like always, to get a chance to talk to the president. He asked me how I liked my new companion, and I told him that I love him. President said that he knew that I would love Elder G. I told President that I like this area and companion better than last. He said that it is most likely because we are working harder than my last area and also because I am on bike. I had a letter from Jane in which she enclosed a tape and a book of stamps, and a letter from Liz and from Mom. Elder M went on bike with us today. We taught Cassandra the first discussion again to make sure that she knew the basics because she did not seem to remember much. We were actually planning on teaching her the fourth. We went to word correlation meeting. Brother S is very excited and has some very good ideas. We went to Mike's house to have family home evening, but taught his sister the first discussion instead. She knows so much that you would think she was a member. We rode 7.9 miles for a total of 44.5 miles. Our average speed was 8.6 miles per hour, and our riding time was 15 minutes and 31 seconds. Elder M committed us to finish our outlines by Sunday. Thursday, March 27, 2003. Mostly cloudy. It rained hard this morning and lightly off and on the rest of the day. We went tracting first thing. We did not have much success, although we tracked it until lunch. We came back to the pad for lunch. After lunch, we went with Brother S to visit Sister P and show her finding faith in Christ. We had her nurses to watch it too. Oh, I guess she was infirm and had nurses in the home helping her out. One of them is inactive and one is a non-member. We stayed a lot longer than we had planned because Sister P wanted to show us her music. She is bedridden, yet she is telling us how the Lord has blessed her. It makes me think that I am not grateful enough. Also, she helped to strengthen my testimony because although she is in her condition, she does not blame the Lord, but rather thanks Him. We got to Cassandra's a little late, and she was not there. Neither was our fellowshipper, Brother A. We taught a couple of guys at the gas station the first discussion, and we went to Daddy, a former investigator, and then we visited Brother T. He is such a great guy. He showed us some of his art, and he is an awesome artist. We went to the B family for dinner and for Sister B's ABD, but no ward missionary came by, and we did not bring the discussion for after baptism. So after dinner, I told them a story of the stronger than reason, and we read some scriptures. We rode. I'm going to skip that how far we rode. I don't think anybody cares. So, Friday, March 28th, 2003, clear and hot. First thing we had at the baptism interview was Sophia. Elder G and I went tracting until it was time to see Louis. Brother S came with us, and we taught Lacey the first and fourth discussion. We had lunch, and then we went tracting again. We taught Elaine, a 90-year-old lady, the first discussion, and set up an appointment for Sunday. We had dinner with the I family, and Brother I told us some very funny stories from his mission. I will not try to write them because I could not do them justice. We went to visit Brother and Sister P. We could not find their apartment, so the security guard tried to help us. We talked to him while another guard called the P family. He, the security guard, told us that we could come by and talk to him at his house, and Brother P came down and we talked to him until it was time to go home. He told us that the church is wanting to do away with tracting and have members do all the finding. Saturday, March 29, 2003. Clear and hot. We went on zone tract. I went with Elder O, and the first house we came to, we taught a discussion, but they were not interested in learning more. About 3 hours later, there were some people having a yard sale, and we tried to teach an older lady that was watching the sale, but all she wanted to do is say, "I don't need a prophet because I have a living God in me." She did tell us that she thinks that she knows someone who wants to talk to us. I think that she just did not want to talk to us, so she thought if she could get someone else to talk to us, that we would leave her alone. The young lady that she brought out did not really act interested at first, but then asked where the Book of Mormon came from. We taught her the first discussion, in reverse. It went very well, and she said that she would read and pray, and we set up another appointment for next Saturday. After zone tract, Elder G and I was dropped off at the church so that we could fill the font and set up for the baptism. Elder G gave the talk on baptism. Brother S baptized Sophia. At the interview, I showed the mediator and gave the talk on the Holy Ghost. We stood in the circle when Sophia was confirmed, and we stayed for grind a little while, and Brother P gave us a ride to the pad. When we say we stayed for grind, that's what a lot of people call food. When you eat, they call it grind, so that's just a local Hawaiian term. We went to help the G family take a bed into their house, and on the way back to the pad, we talked to a wayward Christian lady who tried to save our souls. She tried to convince us that the Mormon church is a cult and that Mormon was one of the devil's angels. She was pretty worked up, so I used the unbeatable position on her and told her the Articles of Faith. I'm not sure what the unbeatable position is. I didn't explain that, and it's been 20 years, so I don't remember. She said that they sounded good and that she was going to show it to her pastor and see what he thinks about it. She also told us that she wished that we could come to see the light and join the born-again church. We succeeded in that she does not have a bad feeling toward the church, as bad of a feeling toward the church as she did before she met us. Brother P picked us up and gave us a ride to the high priest group social. I decided to be brave and eat with chopsticks. After dinner, the bishop gave us a ride to the zone meeting. We set goals for the zone. First place zone. Respect our stewardship. No ball or fun until the pad and car are clean. 10 points on our cards per day. Keep the morning schedule. Members at all second through sixth discussions. 250 discussions per week. Every area to have one baptism. We rode home in the car with Elder O and the Samoan elder and Elder B and his companion. We rode 4.3 miles on our bikes today. Well, I think that will be it for today, and I will pick up later next episode. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. There's seems to be always something that I could have explained better, and so if there's something I could have explained better and you're not sure what I was talking about, go ahead and comment down below and I'll do my best to explain it. Again, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you in the next video.